Zidoragi here, coming to another video review. And today, as you can see, I will be doing the Titan's Return Voyager class Astrotrain from Transformers Titan's Return. And as I have mentioned on my YouTube page, this is likely to be the last review I do for a very long time, as I have sort of run out of money to buy more figures and models. But in the meantime, I will be uploading gameplay footage, so if that entices you, look forward to that. But to start things off, here is Astrotrain in his very weird train mode. Size compared to a soda can. Just get that out of the way. The colors, as you can see, are pretty much the same as original G1 Astrotrain, with a few minor differences. It's mostly purple, with a little bit of medium gray, a little bit of black, actually a lot of black now that I see it, some darker gray, and some translucent purple on the top. And a few extra colors that really aren't supposed to be, visible for this mode. For accessories, it's pretty universal throughout all three modes. He comes with two guns, just two purple guns. They look like a very chalky purple on camera, as well as the headmaster, Moon something. I forget exactly what his name is, but I don't really care, to be honest. Let's go over him first real quick. He has a ball-jointed head, so he can look all the way around. Arms can move out just a little bit, move up that far. Legs can move up that far, back that far, bend that far at the knees, and of course bend forward for transformation. Now he can actually sit in one of two places. You can either put him into this gun, like that, or what is prescribed for this mode is the translucent purple canopy up here can open, and he can sit in there just like that. And for the most part, until we get to robot mode, I'll just be keeping him in there. You can kind of see him in there, but the plastic is so hazy it's a little bit difficult. The cannons, or rifles, or whatever you want to call them, can be put on him in this mode. You can see there are these two large ports on either side of this section. So just take this post, put it into that port, this in the other side. I don't know about other releases of this figure, but on mine they are side specific, because for some reason the post on this gun is smaller than this one by just a hair. So if I put it into this side, it'll just droop down. It won't stay. But there he is with his rifles on. Looks kind of dumb, but what have you. And next is the transformation to his spaceship shuttle thing mode. The transformation from train to shuttle is fairly simple. First thing you're going to want to do is come to either end, flip up these panels, flip the ends of the train around, close that panel, and I like to level it out. Take these panels on the sides and collapse them up. Just going to do the same back here real quick. Then you want to take this section and separate it from this section. Let's go ahead and raise the camera just a little bit. And there are several tabs and posts all throughout this section of the figure, so just kind of sandwich everything together. Now that was a very loud, definite click, but trust me, it is not going to stay. Then take these sections and fold them out. Bring this entire section up, collapse it down like that. Bring these parts and swing them forward. Fold this in, and there is a tab that will go into the slot right there. Tab into slot. Angle these rear fins a little bit. Come down here, fold out these two landing skids, and then fold out that landing skid. And there you have Voyager class Titan's Return Astrotrain in his space shuttle mode. Here is the size of his space shuttle mode compared to a soda can. Not as long as the other mode, but much thicker. And at least for me personally, I think this is his best mode. It makes him look the best out of any of the three modes. The colors are still identical. Mostly this weird purple, a lot of black, a lot more of the light gray visible, a little bit of dark gray, that same translucent purple, and then a few new colors here on the bottom that, again, I will get to in the last mode. His accessories in this mode are identical to the previous one. He's still got his headmaster in here, and he can still equip the rifles. It's really not possible to put them both on these ports here. You can put this one here, but this guy isn't going to go. There are instead two ports down here, but with the way both these are shaped, it sort of lifts them up off the ground. Where I prefer to put them is on these ports here on the sides of the shuttle mode. Just put this one here and then turn it so that it sits flush. And then put this one here. And there he is with his guns equipped. It looks a little bit better than it did in the train mode. I have to give it that. Still don't like how the guns are different. I would have preferred two identical guns. That would have made things look a little bit less odd. And then his transformation from train mode to robot mode, or space shuttle mode into robot mode is, again, fairly simple. The entire toy is fairly simple. The first thing I want to do is detach these wings from there, from these sections, and just sort of get them out. Then you want to lift this section up so you can take these panels and bring them down. They attach with tabs into these slots, but they don't really stay worth a damn, so try if you can. Don't be too worried if you can't. Bring the camera back up a little bit. Fold these wings flat against his back. Bring these panels down. This one in particular likes to not stick on mine. Fold up the landing skids. Split this section, rotate it forward, and then flatten out the feet just enough so he can stand. Fold out the hands. Push this switch here on his abdomen to raise these little pillars, and then retrieve the headmaster from in here. Get the body so that it will stand up, and get the headmaster into its head mode, and that's fairly simple. Just collapse the legs up like this, and the head acts as the post to go into this clip here. And there you have Voyager class Titan's Return Astrotrain in robot mode. For starters, here's his size compared to a soda can. Pretty standard Voyager class height, though the Voyager toys have gotten smaller over the years. As for colors, mostly the same as before. Just give him, stand. Mostly purple, a lot of that medium gray, slightly darker purple, black, as well as some new colors, orange and a little bit of yellow. Posability isn't too bad, with an asterisk. I'll get to that in a minute. First, the head is kind of on a ball joint, so it can kind of move up and down, but it can move more down than up, as well as tilt to the side and turn side to side. And then this little panel or section it's mounted on can also turn to give him a little extra movement, which is nice. The arms can move out to the side that far. If you get all of the wings out of the way, they can go all the way around. They can turn all the way around just below the shoulder, bend that far at one elbow. The wrists can't really do much, but they can technically angle in, and no matter what you're doing, they're going to, because the clips that hold the hands in place are crappy. Also, the elbow joint on this arm is very weak. A lot of the joints are very weak. The legs can go forward that far on a seemingly nice ratchet, back that far, out to the side that far, swivel all the way around just below the hip, bend that far at one joint in the knee, and the feet can wiggle back and forth. As for that asterisk I mentioned, it's that the posability is very good. However, almost all of the joints are extremely loose. So for the most part, no matter what pose you put him in, it is going to be a temporary pose, unless you decide to glue him. The construction on this toy, at least on mine, is so bad, you can actually see through the seams on his shoulders. But enough ranting, and on with the review. His accessories have technically been reduced because he can't really use his headmaster since it's his head. He does still have his two guns. They can either be stored on these ports on his wings, just like that. Or, of course, he can hold them. He has ports in his fists, so just get his hands up. He can hold them pretty nicely. My preferred way to have him equip them, so it looks a little bit different than how it usually does in vehicle modes, is there is a port on the top of this gun, a small post on here, put them together, and now he's got a much bigger gun. I will admit it looks rather silly, but it looks different. It doesn't just look the same as all the other modes. If I had a second headmaster, I could probably seat it in there and make it look a little more filled out, but I don't. Oh, and my biggest issue with this guy is his crotch piece likes to come apart. A lot. But that pretty much covers it. That does it for my review of the Voyager class Titan's Return Astrotrain. So, until the next review, whenever that might be, or when I start uploading the gameplay videos, starting with Sword Art Online Holofragment, bye-bye.